Welcome back, family. Welcome to the Reiki, healing, hope, community, a place to heal, relax, be yourself, and be surrounded by those who want to see you blossom and or bloom. I am Jessica, a Reiki master teacher and intuitive, and today we have a special healing session. We are going to do a self-care energy healing session, checking in to see what you're up to, see what's been going on, and just get you nice and relaxed for this Mars and retrograde Mercury about to go into retrograde season, all that stuff that come up. So subscribe, comment, and like, truly appreciated. Shout out to the Patreon family. If you want to be a part of our Patreon family, there's a link in the description box. And this week we are working on smudging, smoke clearing, and the herbs and plants to use for that. So that's so much fun. Also, before we get started, it is so important for you to register to vote, as well as to register to vote absentee if you do not feel comfortable going in person because of COVID to your polling station for those in the US. So important. On our channel we talk about treating ourselves and our self-care, but an important part of that is how we treat others, and choosing to exercise your right to vote is so important. I'm very out there, very open. I am a Black gay woman. I don't have the luxury not to vote, and that's just me keeping it real. So I'm not telling you who to. I mean, I am telling you who to, but no, I'm not telling you who to. I'm just saying, please exercise that right, and know that you have to be registered, and you have to put an application in to mail to do absentee voting. And I'll leave something in the description box to give you a little bit of guide. It's a little bit different format looking for each state, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay. We start out our practice with a prayer. It is not a religious prayer, just a prayer to connect us in community, because consent matters. Do I have your permission to say a prayer? Okay, let's get into it. Dear Mother, Father, God, and all for the highest vibrational good, please connect us to the Reiki Masters, the Ascended Masters, Master Jesus, Master Buddha, Master Katumi, Yamonja, Oshun, Mawu, and all the Taurus. Please connect us to the Archangel, Spirit Guide, Spirit Animals in our lineage, and all for our highest vibrational good only, rooting us down in our individual healing experience and bringing us forth as a community. I say all of this in the name of I Am. Ashe. 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 Self-care. How we treat ourselves is so important. And I've heard other channels. I'm going to get some smoke clearing supplies out. I'm going to get a little crystal. But I've heard other channels doing ASMR mostly talk about how they don't like political topics for their channel. It's a space for them to, get away from what's going on in the world. And that actually is a cop-out. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say what it is. How we approach a conversation, and I promise you this ties into self-care, but how we approach a conversation really is about how we're able to look at these healing things that we're learning in our self-care practice and apply it to the practical world. And you can't separate yourself from what's going on in the practical world. You may not want to consume media 24/7 because you get tired, that's fine. But I think a lot of the issue of not understanding and people not being able to connect or fully understand why people are protesting, or the injustice that have happened to numerous groups in the history of the US, is because they're choosing, and they have the privilege to, separate themselves from what's going on politically and kind of live in this fantasy world. Believe me, I just said it before, I am a Black woman. a K1 at that. And I've been in many healing spaces where when we get to the point to talk about like, okay, we're learning all this self-care, how can we bring this to systemic work? How can we heal as a community in a whole? And so many people did not even know how to address this because they did not do the work, or they just weren't familiar and they felt very intimidated by the topic. And to that I will say, it's okay. Just work on it a little bit each day, finding out a little bit more information, and know that sometimes you got to put in the hard work of learning in order to be able to reap the benefit. If you truly, truly, truly believe in a world where there is little violence and that people are equitable and all of these things, then that means putting in the work. Just putting in that work. Speaking for myself, where would I be if people, both those who have been enslaved in the U.S. history did not make a choice to run or rebel, and those abolitionists who wanted to help, where would I be? So I don't think that a person cannot, exercise their right to vote or take action and what it is they feel like they're being called to, because I think we have to protect each other, and this is one way to do it. And of course that starts with the self-work. And it's so funny that the younger an audience, the more people are like, heck yeah, they're really good at balancing, like working on themselves and being there for others. And it's just like us, when we start to get older, we're like, oh my gosh, I got all this stuff going on anyway. But in this self-care and this self-healing practice, it is so important to start from the self, to anchor in your heart and to anchor in how you are taking care of yourself. So let me ask you, how are you doing? What has been your self-care practice? Do you like to listen to music sometimes? You like to listen to rain? Anything you like special? Sometimes I like to listen to like meditation apps and things like that. What do you like? And also, go ahead and share your comments about what we're discussing. I love that this is a community and we can talk about these things in a safe space. And I think a lot of people are intimidated to talk about various things because they don't feel like they're in a safe space. So know that you're in a safe space, and this is a place where we're coming together so that we all can have this genuine self-care, can feel secure, and just be able to flourish, blossom in or bloom in and or blooming. I'm over here trying to light this Palo Santo. Where's my cinnamon? Because I did say I wanted to whip out some cinnamon. So just breathe that in there. Okay. Clearing and cleansing you and letting you move forward in your path and removing and releasing fear. With this Mars and upcoming Mercury retrograde, it has a lot to do with hidden hurt, hidden trauma, fear, a lot of this internal work, and it's about time to just release it. No more irrational fear, no more need to hold on to things that no longer serve you and serve us as humanity. Coming together as one people, honestly, for the right reasons. So I'm just going to give you a nice little blessing because I want you to feel your energy balanced, but I also want you to feel empowered. I don't want you to feel like it's okay to remain silent. I want you to feel like your voice really counts, and that even if you're afraid or even if you feel like you don't know, that you still feel that strength behind speaking up, okay? Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Feeling the energy travel from your crown all the way down, letting it seep over your limbs, front body, back body, and just release and relax, release and relax. Dear Mother, Father, God, and all for the highest vibration of good, please send them the greatest amount of blessings, the greatest amount of strength, the greatest amount of understanding, the greatest amount of generosity, as well as the greatest amount of abundance coming their way, that they are surrounded by the beauty and the passions that are so important to them. I say all this in the name of God. Okay. How are you feeling? I like to keep checking in, because I think it's so important. You know, sometimes we start something in a different wavelength, and then we go to another wavelength. I know that's definitely me. Look, I try to take it easy most of the time in my life. I try to have a very, calm personality. There's only a few things that can get me out of pocket, and one of those things is social justice. And I think it is so fitting with the climate today and just all that is going on, that especially me, this is me calling myself out, if I have a platform, regardless of if it's, energy healing, that we use this space so that we come into a deeper understanding, and that people know that they can take an action, whether that is moving forward and learning more about social justice work, and or, registering and putting in their application for their mail-in vote. There's actions you can take on various levels, but it's so important. And the lesson behind it is, I was raised in a sect of Christianity that was very apolitical. So it took me a long, long time to understand the value of having that right. And I think, kind of like what I said before, just being a person of color, it's very opposite of who we are, because we have fought so hard for the right to vote, or for the right for equity, that to give that up kind of doesn't make sense. But I didn't know about that until I grew up and I started to learn about things, and how does the government work on a local level, and how does that, just kind of this idea that people only vote for the president, they don't really vote on their local level, or that you could be a part of what's going on. So every year I'm usually an election officer. Shameless plug. But this year, because of COVID, I was like, okay, well, let me get my officering off done in our community, and let me know how you feel. What's coming up for you? I want this really to be an empowerment session, that we deserve so much more. We're going to make these right choices to surround ourselves, or to become those leaders. So many of you have leadership energy behind you, and I think that you should really kind of collect that and move forward in your journey. You don't know, you can run for local office. Hello. Keep breathing here. Relax. Let go. Relax. And let go. Before we leave each other, I want to do this thing together, okay? I want you to just sit, or if you're lying down, that's fine too. And I want you to allow your shoulders to melt away from your ears. And I want you to sit in confidence. I want you to feel this energy rising from your root chakra all the way up to your crown and blossoming out. Opening your crown up to receive this loving energy from God, universe, source, or whatever it is you call and you believe that's your business. And feel that energy just rushing in. Feel the knowledge, feel the empowerment, feel the strength. Now I want you to see the power in your hands. You don't have to look at your hands if you don't want to, but just feel it. The power in your throat, power in your body. Know that your body is useful, that you can make any life that you want, and more than that, you can be an inspiration to others. So whenever we're talking about blossoming and blooming, it's because making yourself as big as possible and as beautiful as possible and putting yourself out there is so important. And doing it in a dynamic way is so important. Take care of yourself, take care of others, and take care of this planet. It's the important things that we do. So in our self-care practice here, we're taking care of ourselves. When we go out and we exercise our right to vote and collect and be in community with others, we are taking care of others. And the choices that we make and how we consume and what we do is how we take care of the planet. You don't have to be perfect. You can just try a little bit each day. Try a little bit each day. I'm trying to pressure myself a little bit more each day to do more things that are environmentally conscious and to lower my carbon footprint. I'm not perfect, but I try to challenge and call myself out and just keep it moving. Keep it moving and trying. So I'm right there with you. I'm right there in the trenches with you. Okay, final breath. Well, family, I hope you enjoyed this check-in. I know I just really wanted to check in with us and see how everything was going, especially how the world is. We don't live in a bubble. You know, we can use what we're learning here in the healing sessions to apply it to real life. That is completely fine. And your voice matters, and I want you to know that and to feel empowered so you don't feel like you have to escape into an alternate reality. That, yes, you can take mental breaks, but your voice matters and we need to hear it. And that's the most important part. So, if no one has said it to you, I'm going to go ahead and say this. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds because COVID is real. Be sweet to yourself, okay? Until next time, love you.